Greetings, folks. Today I'm in Calistoga and I'm going to see the world's largest petrified trees. This is some sort of petrified forest, and I've heard about it, I've driven by it, but I can't believe I've never stepped inside. I'm going to change that today. Come along with me. Okay, well, I did pay a very nominal admission fee. It was $11. I was given a map, and this says to the forest. Apparently there's like a half-mile trail, so this ought to be really easy and really interesting. There are places along the way that are marked that are of particular interest, and I imagine I am going to learn a whole lot today. So I'm going to kind of take my time and I'll talk about the highlights. Okay, this is the first stop, and it talks about how this ancient redwood tree forest was growing out here, and then 3.4 million years ago. Okay, how do you even imagine that? A volcanic blast coming from Mount St. Helena sent ash all over this and rapidly buried this once serene forest. And then it talks about how water would go into the cells and how silica was eventually deposited into the cell cavities. Oh my goodness, the process of permineralization is one of the most faithful modes of fossil preservation. Oh boy, this is very interesting. And I want to tell you, it's as hard as a rock. Here's my map, and I am going to follow the main trail. I only saw a couple other cars in the parking lot today. It's a weekday, but man, it's beautiful out here. Nice weather in the low 60s. Great for a walk. I know I'm going to really appreciate this. Okay, this has got to be interesting over here. This is called the pit tree. It's unusual because it's the only petrified pine tree found in this forest. 43 feet in length, 2 feet in diameter. Let me get a different perspective on that. Okay, I hope you can see that big old petrified part of a tree. And there's some interesting history about the guys, the pioneers, who first uncovered some of these petrified stumps, I think they were. Here's an explanation of what we are looking at here. The white rock at your feet is volcanic ash, composed of sparkling glass shards, fine particles of volcanic dust. Then it talks about the silica present in molecular form, carried down by the water. Sometimes I just read those signs quickly and forget that you're trying to figure this out just by watching a video. So I'll try to slow down a little. Nice place to sit, relax. I don't need that yet. Here's a really interesting piece of information: the petrified wood in its natural state, and how Charles Evans, the homesteader who discovered these trees, spent 8 years on this property before he made his discovery. And this is what the petrified wood looks like. It's just, it looks like wood, but really hard, like concrete. I wasn't expecting that. There's somebody, probably Charlie himself, in a Christmas hat. Okay, this meadow trail is a little added addition to the main trail. Let's see what we got. Ash Fall and Volcano, a 1/4 mile. Yeah, we're definitely doing that. This sign describes how the redwoods fell like matchsticks in the direction of the flow from a volcanic explosion, which came from Mount St. Helena, which we'll eventually see. And then a blanket of ash covered the trees for several million years. Oh, this is called the Giant. 60 feet in length, width is 6 feet. Wow. 3 million years old. That's amazing. They have it fenced off so you can't like jump on it or climb it or put graffiti all over it. Wow. Imagine huge redwoods just falling like matchsticks. That's really something to think about. One thing I hope you can see is the beautiful bark preservation on this giant. Got to appreciate it. Here's a little stage, and they're talking about Charlie. They call him Petrified Charlie. And apparently he discovered this petrified forest in 1870. Oh, wow. Check this one out. This one is called the Queen. And this petrified tree has a living tree growing out of it. How cool is that? Yeah, there's a tree growing out of the crack of this petrified wood. Check that out. 8 feet in diameter, 65 feet in length. Well, I wish I could reach through the fence and just touch it, but I know from touching the other specimens around here, it's just, it's rock hard. There's another view of the Queen with the tree growing right out of it. And this is talking about excavation is done in steps using a backhoe, pick and shovel, and then the geologists take over. You can see some of the steps right here. Okay, going back to the Ashfall and Volcano Trail. The gal that took my money said this is definitely worth a little extra hike. And you get a view of Mount St. Helena. Okay, I am meeting other people on the trail, so I'm not the only one out here. But there's no wind, it's quiet, it's beautiful, great temperature. Perfect day to be here. And at the top of the Meadow Trail, a view of Mount St. Helena, which is 7.5 miles northeast of this property. And it's all that remains of the volcano. At the base of Mount St. Helena is the Napa Valley, which runs north and south between two earthquake faults for about 32 miles. Nice little stopping place. I'm going to see what's up here. Oh my goodness. This right here is what they call the Ash Fall. Wow. You're looking at stuff that has been lying there for over 3 million years. And here's an explanation of that. You can stop the video and read about it, or you can just be amazed by it. It's really amazing. Gonna head back down the Meadow Trail with a last look at Mount St. Helena. Yes, I have hiked that years ago. It's a tough one. The altitude is over 4,000 feet. And it's strenuous, so I'll have to pick and choose when I go back there. I was just reading how, Petrified Charlie discovered this place in 1870, but it has changed hands several times. And of course, the credit to turning it into a place where people could come and visit goes to someone else. So, yeah, it's got a lot of history, and it's just very interesting, and, you know, it's clean as a whistle. It's taken care of very nicely, and you can learn an awful lot here. I highly recommend it. I know some of you watching probably collect petrified wood, and if you do, please say so in the comments. Okay, this one is called the tunnel tree, and it is said to be one of the best preserved pieces of a petrified tree or petrified wood in the world. Here's a tunnel. Wow. This sign says that petrified trees are found by the tops protruding through the volcanic ash. The tunnel tree is 105 feet in length, 6 feet in diameter, and it is a redwood discovered in 1919. Well, they're calling this petrified tree the Robert Louis Stevenson tree. He actually wrote about this in his book, The Silverado Squatters. Oh wow, look at that. Yay, something I can actually touch again. And this is a plaque that commemorates the people who have worked on this place. Yep, it is just as hard as rock. And yet, those were parts of trees. Heading downhill and getting ready to finish up the walk. Here are some posters that talk about who expanded the place when they took over, and, you know, how it transitioned over the years. But we got to thank Petrified Charlie as the original discoverer. So I will stop in the museum and the gift shop, and I'll pick up something to take home. But I just want to say thank you for coming along with me on this walk through the Petrified Forest in Calistoga. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I learned a lot and totally enjoyed my walk here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.